Hello viewers, today at CiaMeru TV, I wish to welcome you to our first edition of Fireplace. Just like the traditional fireplace, where children will gather at dusk and listen to stories that inspire, today at CiaMeru TV, we would like to listen to a story that will inspire us and the society at large. My guest today is a doctor, a writer, and a motivational speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, join me, Godfrey Motiga, in welcoming Daktari Bundi Karau, the chairman, Meru Youth Service. Daktari,
yes.
Karibu kwenye Fireplace.
Thank you very much, Motiga.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Karibu.
Yes.
All right, Daktari.
Yes.
Leo tunataka tujue maisha yako.
Good.
We would like to know your life.
Yes.
Because we understand your life has been an inspiration to many.
Okay.
We would like to know the journey.
Yes.
Pengine ueleze watu wa Meru na wa Kenya.
Yes.
Who is Bundi Karau? Karibu.
Thank you. Bundi Karau is a Meru, born in Tigania West, EP1, right. Location. Schooled in KK Daraine Primary School up to 1998, and then joined Kanyakina High School in Imenti South up to 2002 when I did my KCSE, the Form 4 exam. Then joined the University of Nairobi School of Medicine in 2004, where when I was pursuing my first degree in Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, I was awarded a scholarship to undertake an intercalated degree in human anatomy.
Human anatomy?
Yeah, human anatomy,
right.
Which I graduated in 2007 with a first class honors. Thereafter, I joined the medical school and graduated in 2010 with a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. Okay. And I rejoined the University of Nairobi again in 2014 for a Master of Medicine and was awarded in 2017. It's a 3.5-year course, Master of Medicine in Internal Medicine. And thereafter also rejoined the same university where I'm almost completing my PhD in human anatomy.
All right.
So I'm a student as we speak.
All right.
That has been my academic journey in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'm a medical doctor, specializing as a physician and an anatomist for that matter.
Yeah, you'd also like to tell us you are a motivational speaker and at the same time a writer.
Yes.
Most probably you'd like to tell us what you have done in that field.
Yes, my motivational journey started as a byproduct of having been a top candidate in my KCSE examination.
Yeah, which year was that?
The year 2002. Okay. And I found myself being invited over and over again to share my story and also a few tips on academic success. Yeah. And I spoke to many high schools and youth groups. Yes. And that's where my journey started. After that, I joined Equity, the pre-university scholarship, which they offer to the best students in every area where the bank operates. So I worked in Meru branch before joining university. Yes. And part of it was also motivation because we would tour schools and educational forums. Yes. I would find myself speaking to many groups. And after that, I graduated a little bit more and started speaking even to bigger groups, universities and church groups. And I became a speaker. I had not set out to become one, but I became a speaker because of that. And I also became a lecturer. So when you become a lecturer, you become a motivator in one way or the other. Yeah, sure. I started by teaching in the University of Nairobi as a teaching assistant. And then I joined the Methodist University. So you went back to the university that you studied to teach? Yeah. To teach. And then when I finished my studies, I came back and started teaching at Kenya Methodist University. Yes. So as I practice as a doctor, I'm a teacher as well as a motivational speaker. Yes. Yes, as well as a writer. All right. Yes. How was life growing up? Life growing up was very tough. Okay. Village life was very tough. Yeah. First of all, we were very many in my family. Yeah. We grew up in an extended family, staying together with many cousins. Yeah. And distant relatives under one roof. Under one roof? Yeah, with my teacher. The extended family and my siblings. Yeah, your siblings. We are 8 of us. And we were more than 20 children in one family.
Okay.
My dad was a teacher, a primary school teacher.
All right.
And my life was characterized by lack. Basically, we never had, I wouldn't say we had enough, but we were able to survive, and he believed in education. So that is the best he gave us. You believe that is what most probably motivated you to be what you are right now? Partly, yes, because we were struggling to escape that kind of life. Yeah. Life in the village with nothing much to show for it. Yeah. We were always dreaming of getting out of, you know, the village life. The village. Yeah, and also I had two people who I could look up to. Yeah. Particularly my elder brother, who went ahead of me. Yeah. You know, when I saw him excelling in high school and going to the university, I also felt inspired. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So after that, after you went to the university, yes, did you still carry the same inspiration with you to your higher levels of learning? Yes, that time it became mandatory because having been the top student in KCSE, yes, when we joined the university, then of course people identified me. I wanted to hide, but there's no way I was going to hide. Yeah. So every time we would do an examination, people would like to know. Yeah. Who is this Bundi Karau? Yeah, what I performed. Yes. This is in the university, very competitive because I remember in my class, the top 10 in the year 2002 KCSE. Yeah. We were there, 9 of us. I remember number 1 to number 5, we were in the same, you know, we met in the medical school. Number 2, 3, and 4 were from Alid Navisram in Mombasa. They became my classmates. It was a very, very competitive class. And because of that, there was no hiding. When we did an examination, you had to, I mean, you were arranged alongside what you scored in KCSE. Yes. So naturally, I had to work even harder. All right. And I found life even tougher than high school because the books are bigger. Yeah. The language is Latin. The language of medicine is Latin. The volumes are bigger, life is very fast. Yes. You know, initially the notion I had of university was that I was going to relax. All right. But like, it was not like high school where I would stand hard. But my first week in the university proved me wrong. Okay. The volume we were covering per week in the university was like maybe from 1 to from 4. Voluminous. Yes. Yeah. A lot of work. So it was really, really, even adjusting, having worked in a bank after Form 4. Yeah. Even adjusting was very challenging for me, but eventually I adapted and I performed well, and that's why I was able to get a scholarship to do another degree in human anatomy. Okay. Yes. Just paint for us the picture. A village boy to a medical school. Yes. How was that adjusting to that kind of lifestyle? You know, it's a bit. It would be a bit tricky for some of the people from the village to adjust to the life at the medical school. Adjusting was challenging. First of all, those days in Meru, I was the only one who qualified to do medicine from this from Meru Central. That time this was Meru Central. Yeah. Luckily I think I had one from Meru North, you know, who came from Moto, but he schooled in Moto. That is in Igembe. Yes, yes. Okay. Then we had I think 2 from Meru South. So in your school, or the people you knew are very few. Basically, there was nobody from our school in Meru Central apart from myself in that class. And then you find a student, a school like Alliance Boys. I think we had over 20 from the same class. So you know, that comradeship came in. Yeah. Alliance girls, we had like 20. Pangani girls, I remember we had like 18 girls. Yes. So we were kind of isolated. And then, of course, having grown up in the village, even our expression was not very good. Yes. We were not trained on communication that much. We found people from the city, you know, much schooled or adept at city life, or even the language. Sure, sure. We had the content, yes, of course, we had excelled in high school, but we were a little short of confidence. Yes. But with time, we caught up. We caught up slowly but surely. And when we picked the rhythm, you wouldn't tell the difference. Okay. Yes. Did you have a mentor in college? Yes. I had a mentor. One of my earliest mentors as a doctor was actually the chief government pathologist. He is now retired, Dr. Moses Jue. When I did my Form 4 exam, I had set out to do pathology. Yes. Pathology is one of the branches in medicine. So when I announced that, you know, when the media came to interview me and announce pathology, he went also to the nation. Yes. And he said he wanted to see this top boy wanted to become a pathologist. All right. By that time, it was the most dreaded branch of medicine. So I made a journey to Nyeri. That time he was a provincial pathologist based in Nyeri. I went to his home. Yeah. So we became friends. And he started mentoring me. So he was the first doctor I would really say mentored me personally.
Yeah.
But when I went to the medical school, I found other mentors,
okay.
especially from the Department of Human Anatomy.
Yes.
One of my main mentors, and has remained a mentor even to date, is now the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, the University of Nairobi. He was my lecturer in Human Anatomy, Professor Ogengo.
Yes.
And of course, you know, he was also on the lookout. If you seemed, you know, very interested, inquisitive or bright, you know, he would pick you aside, and we ended up becoming friends.
Yeah.
And many of the things I was able to accomplish in the medical school was because of his mentorship. So
you're saying your curiosity helped you to learn so much?
Yes, my curiosity helped me learn a lot. Those days we were judged on not only what you perform in the exams, but if you want to do research, you know, like anatomy is a subject that deals with how the body is created. Yes. Sometimes there are what we call anatomical variations. Like the body is created this way. Yes. The heart gives 3 vessels. Sometimes you find in some people it is giving 4. That's a variation. So when, you know, during the course of our dissections, because we used to deal with human bodies, we would report those variations and sometimes even publish papers, you know, highlighting anatomic variations in Kenyans. So he realized I was a little inquisitive, and we became friends, started mentoring me and challenging me on other aspects other than academics. All right. Yes. Did you find some culture shock in your academic life? Yes. Yes. I found a big culture shock. The first one, as I said, we used to think high school was tough because we used to study very hard. Yes. Of course, coming from Kanyakini High School, it was not the top, anywhere near the top. It was not Meru School, it was not Kobo, it was not Borarure, it was not Chuka. So I studied extra hard. Yes. But going there, I realized I was even called to study harder. So that was a shock in itself. Secondly, of course, adjusting to life in the city. In the city. And making new friends. New friendships. That was also a kind of a shock. But as I said, with time we picked up and it went on well. All right. Yes. KK Verena Primary School. I remember I had 561 out of 700. Those days it used to be out of 700. And I was nowhere near the top. Even in the district, I was not ranked anywhere in the newspapers. I hoped to join Staré Boys, but there was no letter. Okay. We waited for the letter and it didn't come. Those days, I think letters used to get lost along the way. Yeah. So I remember one time we sat with my dad and my brother, and we asked my dad to go look for Mangu High School. If he doesn't get Mangu, look for Ngovio. And if he doesn't get Govio, look for Nkobo High School. Yes. When he went, he started with Nkobo High School, and he got, you know, a rude shock. He was told, no, there is no place, there is no space, basically. But there is another school down the line, down the road called Kanyakini High School. And when he went there, of course, he got the letter because my performance was relatively good. When I went to Kanyakini, one of the things that really challenged me is those days there used to be intense academic competition between schools, and Kanyakini was really behind. And I used to feel challenged that I had scored relatively well in KCPE, but didn't land a good school. At the same time, at that time I already knew what I wanted to do in the university, and the odds against me. You know, if you know you want to get an A, and nobody has ever scored an A, you know, the odds are very high. So from Form 1, I started working extremely hard. Harder than, you know, we would close the school, I would carry books home. When we get home, I would be very serious reading. I stopped competing with whoever we were schooling with at Kanyakini. I used to think of, you know, Alliance, Staré, you know, those are the guys I'm competing with. Yes. And one time our school was, you know, had so many strikes. Like when I was in Form 3, we barely were in school. But I never lost hope. That's one. Number 2, I have always believed that whatever you know, you should know it very well. So whatever I knew, I was always very good in whatever I knew. Whatever I didn't know, I didn't bother much. So I basically constant revision and thinking, you know, always having that conviction that I could make it. And working very closely with the teachers is what got me, you know, to score well. I never set out to be the best anywhere in the country. I actually had not even such a goal. What I was chasing was a grade to get me into medical school. But in the process, that grade was able to get me to be the top students. What I would like to tell high school students, number 1, is time. You know, high school is very short. What actually students forget is that those 4 years are very short. They think they'll be able to catch up when they're in Form 3 or Form 4. So you start Form 1 on the wrong footing, you don't get a good foundation. Form 2 on the wrong footing, and you find many of them become discipline cases in Form 2.
Yeah.
So to me, it is to, when you land in Form 1, you should start thinking about Form 4.
Yes.
And then number 2, have a goal as early as possible. That I'm going this direction, and that direction you start working towards it as early as possible. If you have a goal that is encompassing, is able to encompass your mind, it is unlikely that you'll be distracted completely. Yes. Even if noises come, you won't be distracted. The problem comes if there are noises and you don't have a goal. You follow a certain direction. Okay. And the easiest direction to follow is the wrong one. All right. But when you are, you know, you've said, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a journalist, you start working like one from, you know, from the first day. Yeah. And the earlier you start, of course, the better. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in Form 4, having no base from Form 1 and Form 2. Yes. You start working hard, but you know, it's like working hard on a house when you're at the roof. All right. You never worked on the foundation, you never worked on the pillars, you never worked on the walls. Now you are embellishing the roof, and it won't work well. So the earlier the better. And of course, if you find yourself in Form 4 and you have not been very serious, it's better late than never. All right. Yeah, you can turn and do something and salvage the situation. All right. In a campus, what I would like to tell all colleges, you know, it now ceases to be about academic competition. It starts to be about you creating your niche in the society. Yes. So if you are a journalist, you start creating your niche early. You start practicing your craft. You reach out to people who are like you or who are better. If you are a journalist, I would think you will look for journalists who have made it. Yes. If you're a singer, you're in music, you look for those who have made it. Yes. If you're an architect, you look for those who have made it, and they start looking for mentorship so that you can understand the dynamics in your field. The problem we have is people graduating from college or university, they don't understand the field they're in. I don't think really we can talk of complete joblessness. The opportunities might be constricted, but we cannot talk of joblessness if you start practicing your craft early. You know, people nowadays are creating their own blogs. They are becoming journalists on their own. Yes. They are creating their own accountancy firms. They are creating their own IT firms. Yes. Those are the skills you start. Generally, you don't have to like, look up for employment. If employment finds you, it should find you doing something. Okay, even as you look for it, you should not be like sleeping just in a shack and asleep or idling, because idling will give you to other thoughts of despair, alcohol abuse, you know, drug and substance abuse. You become who you are not intended to become. But if you start doing something and you see fruits, like I started a motivational program. One of the times when I was in second year in the university and I wanted to take it to the next level, what I did is that I went to the Provincial Director of Education's office in Nairobi and got the post office numbers for all the schools in Nairobi, and I wrote to them that introducing myself, I'm so this is my profile, I'm a motivational speaker. Within 2 weeks I had gotten like 50 calls, and it became a business on its own. I was able to support myself in the university. I wouldn't have done so if I had just stayed in the university. I say I'm a top student, but nobody is calling me. So knowing how to sell yourself from early on, how to express yourself about what you know is extremely important for those in college. You were just fresh from college, you're a doctor. How did it start for you? How it actually began, when I did my BSc, Bachelor of Science in Human Anatomy. I got employment while still a student to teach in the university and demonstrate. To be a demonstrator means when others are doing their experiments, you are there and you are guiding them. You know, showing them this is the heart, these are the chambers of the heart. Anatomy basically is like that. So I was on a salary from the university. That time I was a medical student still, but I had finished my first degree. Then now when I finished my second degree, which is medicine, now I graduated and I got the title doctor. The government usually posts doctors on internship. You ballot for places. You are told Meru level 5 has 5 slots. You cast the ballots for those who want to go to Meru. If you get, you are posted to Meru. So for me, I balloted to go to Kangundo in Machakos because that is where I thought I would learn more. That was your first station now? That was my first hospital posting. It was a fantastic hospital, Kangundo level 4 hospital in Machakos County. That's where I did my internship in the year 2011, 2012. And that time now I became a civil servant. From internship, those days it was direct entry into civil service. And internship is a year whereby you are earning, you're in job group M with the government, but you're learning.
Yeah.
You're learning. And basically, it's learning by doing. You might go the first day and then you are told, yes, you've come.
Yes.
You know, like we do four rotations. Four rotations, there are 4 areas you must work in.
Yes.
13 weeks each. You must work in obstetrics, that is reproduction for women. You must work in general surgery.
Yes.
In internal medicine, that is medical diseases, and in pediatrics, that is children.
Yes.
So I remember my first rotation was general surgery. So we just got in. You are told now, well, you've gotten in. You're from medical school. You have a lot of theory. Yeah. Very little practice.
Now this is the time to practice.
Yes. Today you are on call.
Yeah.
On call means that at night, if a patient comes, you are the first one to be called. Yes. Yeah. Being on call meant patients will come maybe with cuts. Somebody has just, you know, you have to suture. You have to take them to theater, clean the wound, suture. Maybe somebody has come with an appendix. You have to go in and open. That time you have very little practical knowledge. Yes. But luckily there is a supervisor. When you think it has reached a limit, you call them. Okay. Even fixing intravenous lines. Yeah. There is a whole host of support system that guides you to become a doctor. They are nurses, very experienced. Yes. They might not be doctors. They are there to support you. Yes. They see you doing something, they tell you, doctor, even if I'm not a doctor, you are doing it the opposite. Yeah. That's not how I've seen them do. Then now they are qualified doctors who you work directly under. So that's how you start working. And by the time you're done with those 4 rotations, you're already sort of independent. You can work alone, you can make decisions. Not very major decisions, but you can make decisions. At that time, I was not very clear what I wanted to specialize in. But after I did my anatomy, and I started, you know, getting opportunities to travel many places out of the country for conferences, I knew which direction I wanted to follow. And as I did my internship, it became clear that I was cut out to do internal medicine. All right. And so by the time I worked for 1 or 2 years before I went back for my Master of Medicine, I already knew the line I wanted to join. Yeah, sure. I knew the challenges, you know, the pros and the cons, and I was ready to go for it. All right. Yes. Yes.
How did you find yourself coming back to the place where you were born and working for the youths of Meru? How did you find yourself here?
Actually, that is something that I never thought about. I thought at one point, after internship, I would resign and join back the University of Nairobi to teach, to be a full-time lecturer. All right. But I realized if I did that, I would most likely become a teacher and not a doctor. So I had to cut a line that I would do both. I would teach and practice medicine. Right. And then somewhere, just as I was finishing internship in the year 2012, May, a call came. Kenya Methodist University was starting a medical school. Yes. And they were looking all over the country for people who had done anatomy. Yeah. Anatomists are extremely rare, even now. So they went to the University Department of Human Anatomy, to the chairman, to ask, to plead for 1 or 2 lecturers to be seconded to their school. Yes. And they were told there is a young man.
Kenya Methodist University?
Yes. Yeah. They were told there is a young man, actually from Meru, who has done anatomy and he under first-class honors. Yes. And so I got a call from the Vice Chancellor. At first I resisted because I didn't want to practice medicine near home. Neither did I want to teach near home. Okay. But we considered it, I considered it, I asked my mentors and they told me, you know, you're going to start something new. Yeah. And at the same time, it will give you time to do some medical practice. Yeah, sure. It's always good to start something new. Yeah. So in June of 2012, I came to Meru. I was the founder, the first person to teach human anatomy there. I remember that time when we came, we procured cadavers. Cadavers are human bodies that we use to teach medical students.
Yeah, I remember that in, there's a story we read, The River and the Source.
The River and the Source,
The River and the Source,
So cadavers are human bodies. Yeah. I remember when I came and I started procuring, people in the university were shocked. Yeah. What are you saying?
What are you doing?
That you'll be using, and I told them, yes. Yeah. There is an anatomy act in the law that allows us to buy bodies or get them where they have not been claimed and claim the bodies, especially the ones that are full, and use them to teach. So we came, drew the curriculum, we got the first intake of medical students, we started the course. And you know, it peaked. When we were, the East African Medical Board came to audit Kenya Methodist University, we were ahead even of the University of Nairobi in terms of anchorage, in terms of teaching and research, and so many other things. Yeah. So that's how I came to Meru. And when I came to Meru, I had to teach anatomy and practice medicine. So I joined medical practice. I was in the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital. Yes. And then I worked in 2012 and 2013.
Yeah.
In 2014 August, I left.
Uh-huh.
I left and went back to Kenyatta National Hospital, Stroke, University of Nairobi.
Okay.
Now to specialize.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
So you started now another journey for being a specialist now.
Yes, for being a specialist. I joined the Department of Internal Medicine now to do MED. MED is Master of Medicine in Internal Medicine.
Yes.
And I remember when I joined MED, one of the challenges we had there is that it was really dreaded also.
Yes.
For your information, medicine is you treat conditions without surgery. That is what I mean by internal medicine.
Okay.
Like when somebody comes with a heart attack, you don't have to open the heart to treat it. Or somebody with COVID, for example.
Yeah.
That is internal medicine. Or somebody with stomach ulcers.
Yeah.
Or somebody with Parkinson's disease.
Yes.
So the course takes 3.5 years. But I found people who had stayed there for 10 years doing Master of Medicine in Internal Medicine because the volume of work you read is a lot.
Yeah.
It is the widest, possibly, among the specialties.
Yes.
But we were able to finish in the record time.
Yes.
I was able to finish, and in the year 2018, January, I came back to Meru.
You came back to Meru?
Yes.
At Kenya Methodist University?
I went back to Kenya Methodist University, Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital, and now when I came, I also started my own private practice.
I know you are working under people who are older than you.
Yes.
And how was the reaction? You know, people are wondering, this village boy intelligent, you know, how was that? How was the relationship? Well, working with people who are senior than you and you're just, you know, youthful and intelligent and you're on the move. How was that?
Well, one thing about medicine is that we really respect the hierarchy.
Yes.
You much more so in surgery than internal medicine. Internal medicine is knowledge-based. Surgery is skill-based, practice-based.
Yes.
So in surgery, people really respect hierarchy.
Okay.
But in medicine, people really respect knowledge.
Knowledge.
So because I think I have a gift for reading. So I'm able to, you know, integrate more within a short time.
Yeah.
I was able to gain respect, what's called peer respect among my peers.
Yes.
Even the older people. I'm able to work with the older people, and because they know my content. And then also one of the things that happened is that you can also be very good in terms of knowledge.
Yes.
But in terms of practice, you're not good. You're not able to communicate with people. You don't have what we call a healing touch.
A healing touch.
That is something else that I also, really thank God for. That when I started practicing medicine, I had that healing touch. I'm able to associate even with older patients, and they feel really satisfied, working with me. And that is something I've seen very beneficial, especially, in my private practice.
All right.
Yes, yes.
How did you now come to find yourself to be the chairman, Meru Youth Service? Currently, that's your position.
Yes, yes. So, Meru Youth Service is basically a county parastatal.
Yeah.
I remember when Governor Kiraitu won the governorship.
Yeah.
That time I was just finishing my Master of Medicine. That was August 2017.
Yes.
And I remember the current deputy governor calling me and asking me, would I, be interested in working in the county in one way or the other? And I got the impression he wanted me to become a CEC.
Okay. But most probably CEC health or something. Yeah?
Yes, something of the sort, or something. But indeed, but of course, even before he could tell me, I told him, I'm still a student. I'm not ready to. Yeah, sure. Sure. And of course, I knew if I dived direct into administration, let's say CEC or chief officer, what I had been studying for would go into waste. Yes. I mean, because when you are a chief officer or CEC, you cannot practice any medicine. Yeah. I told him maybe if there's a board job or something that involves working with the youth, I would be more than happy. So a time came after, I think it was around February 2018. I got a call from the governor, and he told me he had been thinking of forming a youth service, but he wanted a law drafted to anchor it in the laws of the County Assembly of Meru. Sure. And he was forming a task force to make that law, to form a Meru Youth Service. And he called me and asked me, would I be the chairman of that task force? All right. I told him I would give it a try. I've never tried something like that, but I was going to give it a try. We benchmarked with the NYS, and we came up with the Meru County Youth Service Bill, which went to the County Assembly and was signed into law in May 2018. So when this law came down, the Meru Youth Service Act of 2018, part of the law required that there be formed a parastatal known as the Meru Youth Service. And the parastatal has a board and a CEO. And when now it came the time for now constituting the board, the governor again asked me if, you know, having under that experience, if I was ready to become the chairman.
The chairman.
Which I was glad, because I already worked with the youth, now having worked in that task force. And my name was forwarded to the county assembly, and we were vetted.
All right.
And I was, you know, in January 2019, I qualified.
All right.
Yes.
So just a quick one.
Yes.
What do you do at the MOS? It's more of youth empowerment, and what else? What do you do for the youth of Meru? So
Meru Youth Service is basically a parastatal within the Department of Youth. And its work is to generate activities for youth empowerment. And we have a budget, and we report directly to the county assembly. Because this is almost an autonomous body. We have our own budget, we draw, present it to the county assembly, and it has a secretariat and a CEO. I'm the chairman of the board. The other board members. So what we do, we have programs for youth empowerment, and there have been several. You've just concluded the Meru Youth Service STARS project, MOS STARS project.
MOS STARS project.
Yes. All right. So this is a talent development project. Which was two-pronged in approach. One, to empower existing artists with some finances during this COVID pandemic, because most of them found hotels closed, you know, no function, so they cannot perform because of the, you know, the restrictions. So one time we thought, how can we empower them with something? And we thought the only way to empower them is if we come up with a project that enables them to identify upcoming artists. So we called for auditions. We got 800 applications, and then we sent them out to the 9 sub-counties as judges. Of course, we were paying them, and that was the empowerment we were looking at. And they brought out 60 contestants. Very talented. If you look at the talent, you'll be amazed. Then after they brought out the 60 contestants, we made an academy. We have a center, a Goji center. Where we train now these upcoming artists on creativity, branding, personal branding, stage presence, entrepreneurship for 2 weeks. And then we had a competition across 4 categories. That is comedy, rap, spoken word, and music. And each one had number 1, 2, and 3. And each one of them was to win prizes. Number 1 were winning 200,000, number 2 100,000, and number 3 50,000. On top of that, all the 60 of them got recordings. We had producers who also recorded. What is your last message to the people of Meru, and especially the youths of Meru? What would you tell them as the chairman, Meru Youth Service? So what I will tell our youths is first, or what I've seen is that youths have to do something. And to do something, you have to start small. You start by sharpening your craft as you encounter challenges. Because challenges have to be there. But you don't give up along the way. You start small, you don't give up along the way, and you don't get discouraged. Because if you get discouraged, you become a noisemaker, a drunkard, somebody who cannot be of help to the society. But you have to be proud of what you do. Start small, be proud of what you do. You have to know how to sell your craft. Even as a doctor. The best way is to read very hard. Treat my patients very hard, very well. That's the way they will come back, or even tell others, right? If you are a writer, you have to write and practice writing and talk about it. If you are a singer, you have to sing very well and talk about it. You have to be able to express what you are good at to the society. If you cannot do that, then you'll just be in your own cocoon, with your own talent, with your own opportunity, but you'll not go very far. Luckily nowadays there are avenues to market yourself, free of them. Social media. If you go to many social media, you'll find people are not marketing themselves. What they are doing, they are making political noise, picking up fights. If you go to my social media, I know I'm a motivator, so I motivate, I educate, I teach, I treat because I'm a doctor. So we use our platforms, the ones that we've been given, to market who we are. That's what our young people are missing. The same thing we are doing at CiaMeru TV. We are exactly. This is a youth-based channel. Exactly. Now this is a creative way, of giving to the society in a way.
All right.
And as you practice media in its own way. So it's good that people sharpen their craft. Yeah, basically, that's what will emancipate our youths.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for creating time to come to our inspirational show.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to Fireplace.
Thank you.
We wish to get to you in our new year future programming, and we'll actually talk to you and allow you to talk to the youth of Meru and even Kenya at large. Thank you, viewers, for being with us. This has been Fireplace, where we talk about stories that inspire us and the society at large. I've been your host, Godfrey Motiga, coming to you from Katimene Gardens Hotel. See you next time.